Yes, this series did premiere last week. It's also when I watched it. Did you think I did not go back and actually rewatch it before doing this?
Yup!
Is Google my best friend?
Yup!
Do I happen to have all my notes written down on a little card with all the people's names?
Yup!
Am I still doing this review regardless of a little bit of information?
Yup!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and welcome back to another series spoiler review. We are diving into the first two episodes of Star Wars Ahsoka. The stars Rosario Dawson returning as Ahsoka Tano in live action, and yeah, you guessed it. It's pretty much the sequel series of Star Wars Rebels because everybody is in it, except for like Zeb, I think. But this is a spoiler review for the first two episodes of Ahsoka, so if you haven't watched those episodes yet, please make sure you go check them out. They are actually pretty good, and I really enjoyed it. It's me. Make sure you go watch the episodes and come back and hear my thoughts on it. And if this happens to be your first time checking out one of my videos, hi, my name is Will, and I do geeky stuff on the internet. I do reviews and reactions, discussions, some gaming, some drinking, a whole bunch of different types of videos on this channel that for your viewing pleasure. And I just like to have fun, and I hope you do as well. And if that happens to be something that piques your interest, and you're interested in hearing that sort of opinion from a geeky bear on this vast internet, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Really help me out. So let's talk about the first two episodes of Ahsoka, and you get to hear my thoughts on it and what I liked about it, because there's not a lot I didn't like about it. So yeah. So Ahsoka picks up basically, I don't know specifically when this is going to be so bad. I'm sorry. The first two episodes of Ahsoka really kind of focus on getting us back in the groove with Ahsoka Tano. Technically, the last time we saw Rosario Dawson portray Ahsoka Tano was episode 5 of Book of Boba Fett, which was
4 to 6 more days later.
a year ago? Maybe? I don't know. Book of Boba Fett's just like a blur. She's on the hunt for a MacGuffin, a map, to the location of Grand Admiral Thrawn. If you don't know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is, you didn't watch Rebels, and you didn't read his novel. Neither are two things I did do, but he is the heir apparent to the Empire. So this takes place between the events of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, along the same timelines as when we last saw her in the Book of Boba Fett. So Mandalorian, Boba Fett timeline of stuff, New Republic. There, like I said, this is kind of Rebels 2, Electric Boogaloo, because we see that Sabine Wren, played by Natasha Bordizzo. Sorry, that's just gonna be a thing. Sorry, I don't remember people's names. I suck at it. We see Sabine Wren portrayed by Natasha Bordizzo, and this is her first time in live action as well. She is the former apprentice to Ahsoka Tano. I hit the table. If you saw the end of Rebels, which I actually did, I saw the end of Rebels. I didn't watch the whole series, but I saw the last few episodes. She was a part of the crew of the Ghosts. That included Kanan Jarrus, who was a Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66. Ezra Bridger, who was a Force user who became a Jedi, who ended up getting shunted off into the unknown regions with Grand Admiral Thrawn. I remember that part. You saw Zeb in a brief cameo in Mandalorian Season 3. Sabine is a Mandalorian, so there's your tie-in. Who is also Force sensitive and began her training as a Jedi, ended up teaming up with Ahsoka, become her apprentice. There was clearly a falling out that happened, hence the tension that we see over the first two episodes when Ahsoka has to go to Sabine for some help unlocking the map that she found on the planet that I don't remember the planet's name. Why do you watch these? What? Just let me know in the comments. I'm curious because I feel like such an idiot sometimes, but I'm just a big old nerd, and I hope you like it. We also see Hera Syndulla, sorry if I butchered the last name. She's portrayed by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who, fun fact, is married to Ewan McGregor, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi. So they're the Star Wars power couple. She is a general in the New Republic and is concerned about more imperialist activity starting to brew. And Ahsoka goes to Hera to try to convince Sabine to help her unlock the map. At the same time, we see that Morgan Elsbeth, God damn it. We see that Morgan Elsbeth has escaped from New Republic custody. If you saw the episode of Mandalorian Season 2 where Ahsoka helped answer questions about Grogu, but also had to deal with the lady, that's the same lady, and she's broken out by, I'm not going to call them Sith because I don't think they're Sith. One of them is a former Jedi named Baylan Skull, played by the late great Ray Stevenson, who in this episode, these 2 episodes, so cool. And his apprentice, Shin Hati, is her apprentice, who is his apprentice. I'm not having a stroke right now. I'm just having a moment. So yeah, so they break her out and they are on the hunt to find the map that Ahsoka has. There's a lot of cameos from other characters from the Rebels universe or the Rebels show that kind of make their way into live action, which makes sense considering it is heavily inspired by the last 2 seasons of Rebels, especially with not only dealing with Grand Admiral Thrawn, who was the big villain of the final 2 seasons, I believe, and with Ezra Bridger, with them trying to want to rescue him. It makes sense that you bring all those characters into live action to tell sort of a continuation of that series storyline, and it still be entertaining and informative enough for someone who didn't necessarily watch all the Rebels to not feel completely lost when these characters made their way on screen. Yes, if I had a stronger connection to the bulk of them, if I had watched all the Rebels, seeing Sabine rocket on that speeder and rocking out to, I want to say the Star Wars version of Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys, I know it was something, but it's pretty dope. I probably would have been even doper if I had that sort of previous knowledge or more experience with the character. But still, just that one introduction was a great way of getting you on board with Sabine and totally get that there's a heavy baggage between her and Ahsoka. And the first 2 episodes do a really good job kind of laying out all the pre-Rebel stuff to get people caught up who weren't originally abreast of the situation. I've heard the tales of Chopper, the little orange astromech. Yeah, he's funny as hell. I'm really glad how animated he is in terms of his expression and just even being able to understand what he's saying to a certain extent. I think he drops the F-bomb.
Can't just shoot it down, it would crash into the port city.
Will I go back and watch it? I'm not going to sit here and say yes or no, because that's going to hold myself to some sort of contract as a verbal agreement on camera, and I'm not doing that to myself right now. If I get to it, great. The series will probably make me want to go back and watch it. These first 2 episodes, one of the cool things I really enjoyed about them is that besides kind of introducing us to our main cast of the series, it also really, I don't want to say invoked a lot of classic Star Wars. It was a lot of fun. Even though it was setting up for this grandiose adventure that has real stakes, not only for the entire galaxy, but also personal stakes with the remaining crew of the Ghost wanting to rescue their friend Ezra, all for different reasons, and Ahsoka trying to continue to do right in the world after her long and twisted history that she had from the Clone Wars all the way up to where we are now. Because remember, if you didn't know, Ahsoka Tano was the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. We all know what the happened to Anakin. And apparently Hayden Christensen, I believe, is cameo in the series. Makes sense. Since you got him back kind of in the live action fold, you might as well have fun with him. And he's really happy to be back, so that's cool. Baylan Skull Sorry, names. Portrayed by Ray Stevenson. It's very bittersweet since we know that Ray Stevenson passed away prior to the release of Ahsoka. And man, it sucks because I really like his presence on screen. He is not a Sith. He is not a dark side user. And neither, obviously, is his apprentice. But they wield like twisted color lightsabers. Obviously the dark side is present, but they're not claiming to be Sith. They're just kind of mercenaries for hire, and they were hired by Morgan Elsbeth to not only break her out, but also to help them locate Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I guess in exchange for power. So they are close to Sith without actually saying they are Sith. David Tennant plays Hugh Yang, the droid that is accompanying Ahsoka on her adventures. He is a former Jedi programmed droid that like took care of like the younglings and helped their training. So that's a cool little thread from Clone Wars up to this point. And David Tennant is just really cool. And he's a big Star Wars nerd, so it's really neat that he gets the chance to live out his dream in the Star Wars universe even more, because I think he's played in just about every freaking sandbox at this point. Of course, this is created by Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is one of the masterminds and the creators of not only the Clone Wars, but Ahsoka Tano as a character, and as well as the Rebels TV show. So this is really his baby, and he gets to continue playing with his babies. And I think that's dope as hell. Of course, there are different people directing it, but he is basically the showrunner. And the fact that he hasn't gotten his own movie at this point is very surprising to me. He does a really good job telling Star Wars stories. And considering the fact the last couple seasons of television have been a little dour, I'm looking at you, Obi-Wan, looking at you, Andor. Not saying either of those series are not great. They're really good, especially Andor. I like the more lightheartedness of Star Wars. I always have been. And this just feels like it's going to be a very fun and epic adventure until Thrawn shows up and probably scares the ever-loving bejesus out of everybody. It gave me those sort of like New Hope feels. The lightsaber choreography is so good. And Ahsoka as a character, very badass. I like the fight she has in episode 2 with the, I'm assuming, former Inquisitor, who I've heard rumors that's actually Sam Witwerth portraying that former Inquisitor in The Mask. If you don't know who Sam Witwerth is, I'm probably butchering your last name. Sorry. He did the voice of Starkiller from the Force Unleashed games, and he was the voice of Darth Maul in the animated series for Clone Wars and Rebels. That's just pretty cool that he finally got to do something in live action. So if that rumor is true, I don't know if it is true, but just that fight between them was really well done. That also led into the dogfight / chase with Hera and Chopper trying to catch up with the rig. That was a really funny scene. I like how she just sidesteps the lightsaber as the Inquisitor's calling back his blade, just nonchalantly. It's a promising start to the first 2 episodes. It really is. I just got that love of Star Wars again a little bit, and just the enjoyment that I saw. Even seeing Sabine go up against Shin in their little duel, it seems like they're setting up for the 2 halves of the Force being portrayed on camera. You have Ahsoka and Sabine's relationship being displayed, as well as Baylan's and Shin's relationship, and how their experiences are definitely looking like they're going to mirror each other throughout the entire series run. Unsure where this end game is going to be, if this is going to just be a one and done series, if we're going to get a season 2 or a season 3 like with The Mandalorian. I would really prefer that. If we get a longer form series that you can kind of maybe go all the way up to the end of this 8 episode run, and then at the finale is when Thrawn shows up, and then you get a season 2 that's all Thrawn as the villain, and it's just reuniting all the people, all the entire Ghost team. You get Zeb back in. Granted, that's a lot of CG. I don't know how much they're going to spend on it, but you get Ezra back, stuff like that. You can tell a really cool story, kind of a revival of Rebels. And if that happens, I will actually go back and sit through, watch all the Rebels. I promise you. There, you happy? That what you wanted to hear me say? Big promises. I'm just having fun. I gotta make this fun in some way, shape, or form. Really dope first 2 episodes. Very excited to see where this series goes. I will try to take better notes next time, but let me know if you did enjoy this sort of frantic craziness of a review in the comments. That would probably dictate if I do this again for episodes 3 and 4, because I will be doing these in pairs. So don't expect a review this week. Expect one the following week. Hopefully I'll get it out a lot sooner than probably this one's going out. I really did enjoy the first episode. I'm looking forward to getting to know more about the past history between Ahsoka and Sabine. It really seems like they're going to be the focus of the 3 on the good side, and then Baylan, Shin, and Morgan are going to be on the dark side, and that's going to be kind of our major players until Thrawn reveals himself. And he's being portrayed by Lars Mikkelsen, whose brother Mads Mikkelsen. Mads and Lars. Names. Who did the voice of Thrawn in the animated series. Again, super cool that you finally get to play with your stuff in live action, Dave. Very happy for you. So, that's going to do it for these first 2 episodes of Ahsoka. Let me know anything I missed, which I'm sure is a bloody metric ton of stuff, in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on the first 2 episodes as well. Let me know if you liked this video. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Thank you for checking out this and all my videos. I really do appreciate it. You can follow me on a lot of different social media platforms listed at the end of this video. A ton of videos on this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I have made them all, and I've edited them all, and I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy this sort of energy that I'm putting out. Yeah, hope you like it, and subscribe. So, until next time, if I stop hitting the table, I will catch you later. May the Force be with you. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.